So what's the difference between the old and the new style Lucia Burner? I'm going to do a comparison for you now so you know. Our channel, then I'm the founder of Lusso with my husband Richard. We're based here in the Cambridge countryside in the Candle Barn, and we make home fragrance products. So all of my videos are about how to make your home feel more beautiful with simple, high quality fragrance products that feel luxurious but not necessarily coming with a luxury price tag. Today's video is about the new Lucia electric wax burner. So many of you have bought these models. Mrs Hinch made them very famous. She has one in her home, and this is the original style, and every time we've stocked these, we've sold out straight away. But I'm very excited to let you know we have a slightly newer and improved model. Now, we have just the new one in stock at the moment. We will have some of the original models back in stock as well. We've just got shipments crossing over each other, which is caused during lockdown. But I wanted to do a quick review for you just to show you what the differences are. So as you can see, they're both touch control lamps. So if you haven't had one of these before, or you haven't seen this model before, all that means is that you simply touch the base and you have 3 settings. Okay, and those settings are basically just a light bulb in the interior, and that light bulb acts as a lamp, so you can choose how dim or bright you would like it, but it also determines the strength at which you will heat your wax. So the hotter the setting, the brighter the setting, the stronger the scent. So they are beautiful just as lamps, as you can see, very pretty, particularly at night time. But there are some changes to the design, and I just want to show you what the differences are. So the original design here has a black lead. The new one has a white lead. So depending on your interior, the white lead might blend in better in your background. You might be placing it on furniture where it tucks behind anyway. So that's the main difference, one of the differences. They both have the same size dishes, so they both hold the same amount of wax. That hasn't changed. They both have the same silver ring at the top with these little stand balls here that the glass plate sits on, so that's exactly the same. They lift off in the same way, and they both have the same outer casing in silver. But if you put them side by side, there is 1 or 2 key little differences. I'm going to keep setting the lights off as I show you. The case is a slightly different size, and that's because one of the downsides of this lamp, the original one, was that it was quite hard to get your hand into to change the bulb. So the bulb is inside here. So to change it, you would have to try and get your hand in there to pull the bulb out. Some people found that quite tricky, depending on the size of their hand. This one has been made slightly wider, one difference. But the other difference is that the bulbs inside have been positioned differently. I'm going to do a close-up for you. So the new Lucia means you only have to do this to change the bulb, whereas this you have to put your hand right inside. So that's another key difference. Other than that, the base has got a slightly squarer base on it. Other than that, they are identical, and I have tested both with our wax, and they both work in exactly the same way. But what I want to show you is whether there's any difference in how quickly it melts the wax. So I'm going to put them both on the same setting, on the high setting. I'm going to put 1 cube of Bellissimo in each burner. And I'm interested to know whether the lamp with the bulb that's closer to the surface, will that affect how quickly that wax melts? So let's take a look. So while we're waiting for the wax to melt here, it might be good to just talk about what the differences are between an electric wax burner and a tea light burner. So if you've only used a tea light burner so far, what you would find is that you need tea lights in them. Some people don't want to have a flame or a tea light going, or they don't want to have to keep buying tea lights. And one of the other downsides to ceramic burners or tea light burners sometimes also is that they're quite hard to buy non-toxic tea lights in shops. You know, most shops where you buy them, they will be paraffin, which give off very nasty fumes and toxins that you don't really want in your home, and most people don't even know that. So there's that one thing. But the other thing is your wax will actually last longer in these burners, and that's because you get a more even temperature. In a tea light burner, depending on what kind of tea light you use, what tends to happen is it burns very hot very quickly, and then as the tea light wax goes down, it then goes quite cool. So you tend to get a bit of a lumpy burn. You'll get very strong initially, and then it will fade more quickly. Plus it tends to burn the fragrance oil off more rapidly with some burners. And the ones I'm talking about are the ones that get very hot very quickly, or if you use the bigger tea lights, you're not really meant to use those big ones. So, you know, there's different advantages to both. For me, the electric burner will always win for just how pretty they are in the home. But I do have tea light burners still around the house in areas where I'm not going to be in the room all the time. So in my bathroom, obviously, I would have a tea light burner. And that's just always there because I can turn it on quickly. I can put my melts on for, you know, having a nice relaxing bath, and then it's done again as soon as I'm out, you know. So I think it just depends on how you like to use them. For me, also, if you have pets or young children, sometimes they're a bit obsessed with anything with a flame in, so having an electric warmer can sometimes be a lot better. So it really just does depend on personal preference. You just will find that you get more of a shelf life of your wax in an electric burner. As you can see here, you've used one chunk of wax. So if you're using traditional clamshell wax melts, 1 cube is enough in these plates. If you're using hearts like these, then you probably want 2 to 3 hearts at a time. You can use less, you just won't get a stronger fragrance. And if you're using wax pots, the smaller wax pots, then you want to cut that into quarters and put a quarter in at a time. But already the fragrance in the room is lovely. If you don't know Bellissimo, it's a very clean, fresh linen scent. It's actually vetiver, oak moss, jasmine. So it's just a beautiful, if you like clean, fresh linen, clean cotton type fragrance. Beautiful. And on a day today, like today, it's quite hot outside today. Even though I know there's heat involved here, it's quite cooling. So we're looking at how this wax is melting. And actually, surprisingly, they seem to be melting at the same rate. So I thought the one with the bulb closer to the top might burn more rapidly, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be doing about the same rate. So there you have it, key differences summed up. White lead versus black lead. Bulb that's easier to change. Same effect on the wax. Lights up in the same way, same look and feel, slightly different shape on the base, so slightly more square than curved. Other than that, completely identical. We have a limited number in stock. We will keep restocking them as much as we can, but the link's below if you want to go and grab one of yours right now. If you don't follow us already, please subscribe so we can keep you updated with all of our other videos, product demos, and vlogs from inside the candle barn. Thanks for watching.